before I go back to the callers, I want to remind you. Remember how when Donald Trump, the great white hope, of course, was running for president, and the Democrats, the Never Trumpers, and the media, liberal media, tried all that they could do to stop Trump. They tried everything. They even threatened to put him in jail. And it was amazing to watch that and to watch how the president has overcome all that. And when they tried to put him in jail, it had a positive effect instead of a negative one. And it worked for the president instead of against him because the people knew that the president had not done anything wrong. And they just wanted to lock him up because they didn't want him to become president to make America great again, right? They knew it. The wicked hearts of human beings. But they knew it. And so that didn't work. And then there was an assassination attempt upon the president. Maybe two, I believe, but definitely one. That didn't work. Fight, fight, fight. And these people don't understand what's driving Donald Trump. Really. They don't know what's driving him. They can't understand him. How is all this possible? We have gone after him with everything we have, they say, and none of it worked, and the people still voted for him. Even going to jail, the people had sympathy for the president, and they were not against him. Now, all of a sudden, everybody and their mama want to go to jail, except baby Jessica's daddy. They all want to go to jail now. They are begging to go to jail, but what they don't know, if they go to jail, it ain't going to work for them as it did for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump was on the side of good, or is on the side of good. These people are on the side of evil. Going to jail ain't going to work for them. All the Democrats want to go to jail now, and they are begging to go to jail. So they can put that in a video saying they were in jail for justice. But it's not going to work. Isn't that amazing? The Independent is reporting California Governor Gavin Newsom has escalated his war of words with Donald Trump administration by challenging the president, border czar Tom Homan, to arrest him. Please arrest me. I want to go to jail. They want to be like Donald Trump. It's like when you try to act like you know the truth because you heard about it, you think you know it, so you start pretending you have it too, and it doesn't work for you. Same thing. Donald Trump has something good driving him. These people don't understand it, and they want to go to jail. Holmes had told the media on Saturday that he was prepared to apprehend anybody who interfered with the illegal immigrant crackdown. Watch this from MSNBC.
Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Lord, everybody want to be arrested now. They didn't want to go to jail before, but all of a sudden, please arrest me. It says this guy that support California being a sanctuary state for the illegal alien. Supporting them. Down in San Diego, California, it's so bad now and therefore the businesses, according to the report for American businesses, because the illegal alien have all these street businesses on the street, and they are causing other real businesses to go out of business. The governor doesn't care about that. This guy can care less about the citizens of California. Please arrest me. He's trying to sound all tough. Poor Governor Newsom. Don't blame him. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Please arrest me. I want to go to jail. They all want to go to jail now. Lord have mercy. Everybody want to go to jail. Except baby Jessica Dad. Please arrest me. I'm tough. Arrest me. Holmes not thinking about you, man. That man got work to do. He got a job. Tom is not thinking about you, Governor. It ain't going to work. So, whatever. KNX News is reporting on the third day of protests against ICE raid on Sunday. Lord, she done showed up again. Poor Maxine Waters, the wicked witch of the West with the low IQ. Why is Maxine still in politics? She's so old. Why don't they elect somebody new, fresh? She's never done anything good for South Central L.A. at all, not one thing. And they keep voting her in because she's a black female, not because she worked for them. I remember she told the black people over there in South Central, the Republicans want to tear down the projects. They want to destroy your projects. Being like home for government people. I'm not going to let that happen. And not only am I not going to let, and I was there, not only am I not going to let that happen, I'm going to build some more projects for you black people. Yeah. The Wicked Witch going to build more projects for us. Why she live in a, what, $3 or $4 million home in an amazing area of L.A.? I rest my case. But on the third day of the protest against ICE raid on Sunday, Maxine Waters was turned away from the Metropolitan Detention Center in downtown Los Angeles. Waters told KNX 9.5 FM she went to the detention center to find David Hureter. Watch this from X.
No, I want you to. Hello.
This is Black Excellence.
I just came to use my congressional authority to check on David.
Ma'am, the lobby is secure right now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public appeal.
I need to get in.
Nice! In your face.
What are you hoping to do, Congresswoman?
I just want to see David Werter. Right.
Would a congressperson normally be able to enter the...
Normally, yes.
What is happening here?
Well, there were some of the authorities, I don't know who they were, and I'm trying to get in to see David Werter, who they have arrested. He is the head of SEIU local union here. I don't know why he was targeted. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know whether they're going to deport him. I want to report back to my caucus about what's happening.
Lord. Like, oh, I'm a congresswoman. Like, that's supposed to mean something, right? I love the way that guy just slammed the door in her face. Because black women think they tough anyway, Lord. They think they the backbone of the family, of black people. Right on, right on. Isn't that amazing? Making America great again. There's a woman by the name of Norma Torres. Norma Torres, a Democrat from California, and she posted a video online saying, ICE, get the bleep out of L.A. so that order can be restored. Watch this from X.
ICE, get the out of L.A. so that order can be restored.
ICE, get the out of L.A. so that order can be store.
Lord, what an evil female. Have you ever heard politicians curse so much? I've never heard it so much before. I've never heard so much cursing. You still want females to be the leaders, right? Okay. She want things restored. Back to what? More crime? More violence? More homelessness? Back to what? Restore. I would like to know, what are you talking about? I want to show you what it looked like. Here's what it looked like. Here's a look at life in the U.S. with Mexican immigrants and without Mexican immigrants. So you don't see it with the immigrants and without. Watch this from Ed. This is amazing. Watch this. Amazing. White people just want a first-class life. That's all. They don't want all this fighting. They don't want you coming into their country, destroying it. They're sick of you blaming them for anything, right? They just want a life, a first-class life. They get an education for that. They work hard for it. They build for it. They keep their community in that way. They travel first class. They go to Palm Springs. They lay out at the beach. It just be white people. And here y'all come, want to fight. White people just want to be left alone. They want to be able to walk their streets like that and feel safe. It used to be that way in the good old days. At one time, it was that way. Sorry, white people. It's over now. For one reason, too, you've educated white women, and now they're liberal white women, and they're voting in Democrats. These female representatives and all that. You got to ring in your woman if you want to get better. Isn't that amazing? Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Drop your anger, folks, so you can be free. You're only hurting you. What you put out come back on you. You're burning. Inwardly, you are burning. Let me go to first-time caller, Catherine, out of California. Catherine, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Catherine.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. Speak a little loud right into the phone.
Okay. Can you hear me?
No. I hear you, but you seem far away.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. You're not on a YouTube or Bluetooth or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay. Go ahead. Speak right into the phone.
Yes.
Okay.
My question is on controlling parents.
Right.
Yes. So I am 30 years old.
Are you whispering?
No, I'm not.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I am 30 years old, and I just started dating my boyfriend about 7 months ago.
Uh-huh.
And I introduced him to my mother.
Oh, God.
And the reason the reason why she doesn't approve of him is because I have a master's degree and he doesn't. And so she's basically trying every which way to separate us. And he's in the military, and I'm doing therapy for clients.
Okay. So you're a therapist?
Yes.
Okay. And your question for me is what?
is like how I can navigate this with her. I still live at home, and I'm also her caregiver.
Wow, what a mess.
Yes.
Are you on a speakerphone?
No, I'm not.
It's so weird with your phone going on. Your mama's
Can
on
you still
is she on the other end?
No.
Here's what I recommend. Do what you want, of course, right? Put your mother in an old folks home and wish her well, forgive her for what she's done to you, and move on, and don't even have a conversation about your boyfriend with her. She has nothing to do with it at all. So don't even let her be in a part. You don't have to conversate with her at all about your life, about your boyfriend or anything. Put that devil in a convalescent home and move on with your life.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
I said, okay, I will.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Why are you taking care of the devil?
Well, because, she needs my help, and, I've been willing to help her out with things.
Well, the
But I
help.
didn't know it was going to come to this.
Right, now that you know, have you forgiven her for what she's done to you?
No.
And why
I
not?
have not. I'm still upset about it.
Why?
It's still ongoing. I'm still upset.
And what good is it doing you to be upset?
Nothing. No good at all.
So why don't you drop it?
Mhm.
Why don't you
Okay.
drop it?
Okay.
How are you giving people therapy and you crazy? How the crazy gonna help the crazy? Oh, oh Lord, not George. Have you ever thought about that? How's the crazy gonna help the crazy?
I don't know.
So I recommend you got to face your mother and forgive her for what she's done to you so that God can forgive you and take the spirit of anger and fear away from you and go live your life. You don't have to explain to your mother about your boyfriend or anything else about your life. You don't owe her anything except not to resent her. She can help herself.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I need to forgive.
And you got to be shaking in your boots when you face her, but face her shaking in your boots, and you would never have to shake again.
Okay, you're right. I do need to have a conversation about all of this with her.
Absolutely.
Again.
And then and if she say, I'm sorry, fine. If she doesn't, fine. If she start crying or blaming your daddy or blame you, that's fine. I'm sorry, mother, for resenting you. I realize now you can help yourself. And God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness. God will forgive you because you're admitting that you're wrong for judging, right? And don't, however she responds, and then put her in an old folks home.
Okay.
And let Medicare take care of her.
Okay.
You don't owe your mother anything, zero, except not to resent her.
Yeah.
She's going to destroy you if you keep going down this road with her.
Mhm. Yeah.
And have you forgiven your father?
Well, my father is no longer living.
Oh, okay. I mean, he has expired?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Forgive him. He loved you. He just didn't know how to deal with your mother, all right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And do the
He
silent
had a
prayer.
hard time.
So what?
Mhm.
What were you saying?
I said, you're right. I said, you're right about that.
Yeah. And do the silent prayer, and I promise you, your therapy will get better and everything. But you got to forgive your mother, and then if you put it over home so that she doesn't drive you crazy, and live your life. You got to go live.
Yeah. Yes, you're definitely right. I do.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I will start doing that.
Yeah, so God can continue to bring you out of the thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything, and the emotions are lies too.
Okay. I will do that. Thank you so much, Jesse. I appreciate it.
Let me know how it goes.
Okay, I will.
All right now. Bye.
Goodbye.
888-775-3773. Let me try Brian again out of Bahamas. Brian, let's try it again. You on the air.
Hey, Jesse. How you doing, man?
All is well.
All right, man. First of all, I'd like to say good morning and God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So I was calling, well, last week I called and I was going to talk about, like, back fatigue, like, situation, but the young lady that called you earlier kind of reminded me about something, and you could probably give me some advice. So right now, what I'm dealing with is I'm in recovery, right?
In recovery for what? What that mean?
I'm in recovery from drugs.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, drugs and alcohol and all that. So but for the longest time, I was like kind of like the leader of my family, right? You know, like I got all my cousins' jobs. I put my little brother on his job.
Are you near some birds or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm walking aside right now. You hear that too?
Yeah.
God dang. I don't know what they're talking about.
But go ahead because of time.
Yeah. But so like, you know, man, I used to do very well for myself, Jess. You know, I was a commercial diver and a tugboat captain for 11 years. You know. And anyway, stuff happened. I won't tell you the whole story because I know it's getting late. But so when I fell off, right, which kind of was due to a back injury, you know, and then after I hurt my back, couldn't really work like that. I couldn't work out, was gaining weight, and anyways, I ended up back on drugs and all that. And it consumed me, right? And so there was like a year and a half stretch, Jess, where...
And so your question for me is what?
Okay, so during that time, after about 6 months, right, my family started, like, treating me like... And I don't care about how they was treating me, but it's things that was said, right? And I always used to tell them, I said, man, look here, just work with me, right? You know, I'm going to get back on my feet. It's going to come a time you can't take back what was said, and it got real bad, right? And so now I'm good. Now I'm in recovery, getting back on my feet, and now it's like it's hard to look at these people, you know, the same way, like. It's crazy. So I want to forgive, like I forgive them, right? But it's, you know, like some things can be said that it's really hard to forgive, you know? And there was a point there, everyone turned their back on me, man. You know, I was in rehab, man. You know, I couldn't get my family to send me a bag of chips. You know what I mean? Like I put my family on, Jesse. You know, like I even through all the hurricanes, because like I'm from the Bahamas. You know, we went through hard times, and I was always there to.
And so your question for me is what? Because of time.
What do you think? How do you think I should deal with this?
You should forgive them. Don't be angry at them. Be glad to see your enemy, and then move on with your life. Be done with them, but don't be angry at them.
No, I ain't angry at them, but I can't be done with them.
Why not?
Because that's my family.
And what does that mean?
Pardon me?
What does that mean?
What it means is,
They won't even send you a bag of chip. Aren't you their family too?
yeah.
So,
yeah. I know
so
mine.
if they
I know mine's bad.
if they don't see you in that way, why are you holding on to those crazy ideas?
Because and it really isn't all of that. And one of the people that was doing the most was my little brother. And you have to understand too, right? During that, like, I was a different person when I was on drugs, you know? And there is a time when, like, people got to stop trying, you know? Like, people got to move on with their life. And I understand that. And I have accountability for everything. I don't blame no one on nothing, but, you know, it's like the
Let me
fact
tell you
that...
this. I want you to call me back on tomorrow because it sounds like a long story, but I recommend that you forgive them. They can help themselves, but then you move on and live your life. You don't be trying to take care of them. Don't give them money and all that crap. But don't be angry at them, and you move on with your life. Be done with them.
Yeah. All right, sir. All right, man. Well, you have a good day. God bless you.
Thank you, buddy. Call me back tomorrow or the next time you can, all right? I have a little more time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem.
All right, buddy. I want to go to Marissa, a first-time caller out of Pennsylvania. Marissa, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. My goodness. I can't believe that I got through.
Amazing.
Amazing.
What? Nah. Well, welcome.
Thank you. I'm calling basically on a whim. It's going to be hilarious, too, if my husband is listening. But he's been sending me your videos, and he actually just sent me one about a woman. The title was, she admitted she ruined both of her marriages. I think it was a video from like 2 months ago that was posted. And I don't know. I just called on a whim because I just feel like I'm a problem in my marriage, and I don't know how to fix it.
And so your question for me is what?
I guess just for some advice.
Are you a problem?
Yes.
And in what way? Give me examples of you being a problem.
I'm a control freak. I don't obey my husband. We're Christians, and sometimes I feel like that I'm not because of the way that I am, but I guess it was, like I said, I was calling on a whim, and I just don't know where to turn.
And let's deal with one at a time. In what way do you control? Give me examples of you controlling. You're controlling.
How am I controlling? Even in the littlest things that he does, I can even the littlest things of even like the dishes, the way the dishes are done. So, I mean, it's many aspects. If things don't go, and I'm angry. I'm always just a very angry person. Just things don't go my way, and I just don't know how to control it.
And why do you control? Why are you doing this?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, it even goes as far as like with my daughter, just like trying to take control of like, I don't know, like even like sleep. And I mean, I know it's good to be on a schedule, but it's, my husband is more, like a fly by night. He will just go with the flow. And like, I'm more of like, I need a schedule. I need a pattern. I need, some like repetition. And my husband, we're very different. So.
And so you don't know why you're like that, right? And why you're doing those things. Why don't you obey your husband?
I feel like he's made a lot of wrong decisions in his life. And I don't want to, like, make a mistake. I don't want to follow his lead and feel like we're going to be led down the wrong way. I've actually listened to my husband one time throughout our marriage, and it was the best decision that I ever made, and it was about my job. When I was working, he was telling me to leave my job and go to a different job, and that was like really the one time that I listened to a decision of his, and it was actually a really good one for the both of us.
And how long you been married?
We'll be married 5 years.
And so out of 5 years, you only listened to your husband once. And that one time, it made sense what he told you to do.
Yeah, I know.
What a mess. What a mess. And why didn't that encourage you? You know what? Maybe my husband is not as wrong as I think he is.
I know, and I know that he's a good man, and I don't mean well, you know what I mean by a good man. No, nobody's good. We're all.
But for the compensation part, I know what you mean by
yes,
that.
He is a good man. He is.
And what does it mean? That's amazing. You married to the man for 5 years. You only listened one time out of the 5 years to your husband, and when you listened the one time, it worked. It made sense. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing, and after I made the job exchange, and things were good, and then we got pregnant.
And he got pregnant too?
You know what I mean, Jesse.
What do you mean? Both y'all pregnant?
No, I got pregnant, but we were becoming parents.
Oh, but he didn't get pregnant,
that's what
though,
I mean.
right?
I got pregnant. He didn't get pregnant. I got pregnant. He got me pregnant.
So why did you say we got pregnant?
I guess that's just a term that I've heard. Just a term I guess I've heard. Like we were becoming parents, basically.
Yeah, but we didn't get pregnant.
I know. Yes, you're right. I know I should not use that term any longer.
I was
You're right.
nervous there. But let me ask this. Why do you? What does it mean to you to be a Christian? You said you guys are Christians. What does it mean to you to be a Christian?
To obey the Lord, put the Lord first in everything, and I definitely struggle with that, and to, just obey, believe the gospel, believe what he did for us. He came down, he came a human. He took the wrath of God for us. He took the sins upon himself for us, and to live godly lives, to try to do the best that we can. I know that doesn't earn anything. Salvation is through grace by faith. But to be a Christian is to believe on the Lord Jesus Christ.
And so are those beliefs working for you?
Oh, I believe.
Are they working?
I guess for myself, with some of the things in my life that I struggle with, especially my anger and the controlling, I don't know. I guess I haven't been delivered from those things. I've been praying and asking the Lord for help, and I have good days and I have bad days,
And so your belief in the Lord, is it working?
For my salvation, yes, absolutely.
What does that mean for your salvation? You just said you're still angry and out of control. What do you mean for your salvation? What do you mean by that?
to be saved from the wrath of God, I guess,
But
for
you're
my
not-
salvation.
God has no
Believing
wrath,
on-
and you've not been. Have you noticed you've not been saved? I don't quite know what you mean for your salvation. What does that mean?
I'm getting confused. For my salvation, for the damnation, so I'm not thrown in hell, and I can go back to the Father after this life.
And so, are you in heaven right now or hell?
I'm not in either. I'm on earth.
Oh, you in hell? Do you have perfect peace?
Not all the time, no.
Then you in hell. Do you have anger?
Yes.
You're in hell. Are you disobedient to your husband?
Yes.
Then you're in hell. Do you try to control your daughter and your husband?
Yes.
Then you're in hell. Why you think you're in heaven?
I don't think I'm in heaven.
But do
I
you
don't
know
think
you're
I'm in
in
heaven.
hell?
I don't think that I can drink a cup of cold water in hell like I can right now.
Do you think you're in hell or heaven?
Neither. I'm on earth waiting for judgment.
You already been judged by Satan. And you're being condemned by Satan. And do you, so you said you believe in the Lord, right? And you named off all this stuff. Do you obey God?
No.
So you don't obey your husband nor God, right?
No, that's why I'm in the situation that I'm in.
And why don't you obey God?
Because I put myself first.
And who are you putting first? Who is the person that you're putting first?
Me.
And who are you?
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, how do you know you're putting you first then? You said you're putting yourself first. If you don't know how to answer that, why do you say you are putting you first?
Because I know I'm a selfish person.
And who are you?
Marissa.
That's your name. So your name, so your selfish Marissa name. Who are you?
I don't know.
So why do you say I put myself first? Who are you talking about when you say self?
I don't know.
What is it like living and not knowing who you are? What's that like?
I guess when you put it that way, it's... I don't know. I guess I don't know who I am.
And the last question about that, what is it like knowing you've been praying to the Lord and for whatever you've been praying for, and it has not worked? He's not heard your prayer. Or answered your prayers. What's it like being a Christian?
What is it like being a Christian?
What is it like being a Christian with all that stuff you said that made you a Christian, and God is not answering your prayer all this time? What's that like for you? Knowing God is not answering your prayers.
I think God's not answering my prayers because I'm not obedient.
What do you mean by that?
That I'm not doing what I should be doing in the Lord.
And what should you be doing in the Lord?
In the Lord.
What should you
Obeying
be
Him
doing
first.
in the Lord?
Obeying God first.
And how do you do that?
You know a tree by its fruits. Produce good fruits.
No, how do you obey the Lord? You say you're not obeying the Lord. What are the steps to obeying the Lord?
all I can think of is the law.
What?
The steps, you said, what are the steps to obeying the Lord?
Yeah.
And I said, all I can think about is obeying the law.
What law?
When you say, how do you...
What
the
law?
Old Testament law. The Old Testament law. That law.
What Old Testament law?
You know, the commandments.
I don't understand. I'm black and slow, so I could be missing it. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, you asked, how do you obey the Lord?
You're right. And
Or
you said by what? How?
By obeying the law. That's all I can think about is obeying the law.
And
the
what's
Ten
the
Commandments.
law?
The Ten Commandments.
Oh. And how do you obey the law?
Well, that's a thing none of us can. That's why Jesus came.
Did he tell you to obey the 10 Commandments?
Jesus did, yeah.
He said
Jesus
obey it?
He said to keep my commandments and live.
But did he tell you how to do it?
Can't think of anything in the Gospels. Repent and turn away from sin and believe on the name of the Lord Jesus.
And why have you done that?
I don't know. I guess I haven't fully surrendered to God.
And why not?
I don't know. I guess my sin is keeping me.
If you can't obey them, you can't obey them, why are you crying?
Because I know I should be.
But why are you crying over something that you can't do?
I don't know. I guess I'm just hurt and looking for answers. That's why I called.
Have you got your T-shirt that says when she's crying, she's lying?
She's lying. Yes.
So do you realize right now you're lying in your tears?
I just would just say I'm hurt more than anything. I just feel hurt.
And where is the hurt?
I don't know. In my heart.
Where is the hurt?
The hurt is in my heart.
So your heart where the blood is pumping?
Yeah.
So your heart, you got blood going on there and pain?
Yeah, I guess you can put it that way.
Why do you think it's in the heart? That's where the blood flow.
Well, I think that's where most of our issues lie.
It's in the heart?
Issue. A heart issue,
so
yeah.
Let me ask, do you want to be free?
Yeah.
Do you want paradise right here on earth?
I do.
You want perfect peace?
I do.
You got to admit you're evil.
I am evil.
And then you got to go and forgive your mother because she made you that way when you were a kid by recreating you in her image, imposing her will on you, controlling you in the same way you're trying to control. You have become just like your mother because you resent her. You become like what you hate. And that, and until you confess that, you confess you're evil. That's the beginning of confessing your sin. I am evil. I don't want to be this way, but I can't help it, Lord. What shall I do? And the Lord will help you. You got to go and forgive your mother for what she's done to you. And then God will forgive you. Don't ask Mama for forgiveness. Mama will not forgive you. Human beings don't forgive. God forgive. But you got to apologize to her for resenting her because you're doing the same thing to your family that she's done to her family. And she couldn't help it either. Her mother did it to her. She didn't understand what was going on either, just as you didn't understand what was going on. But you got to forgive, and when you forgive, God will forgive you. He said, I will forgive you when you forgive and draw you into the kingdom of heaven. Within, You can have perfect peace right now. You don't have to wait until you die. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even take that risk of waiting until I drop my body.
You're right.
Why have your husband told you you need to forgive your mother?
Yeah, like after watching your shows and come to the realization, I just don't know how to forgive my mom.
You forgive her by admitting you're wrong for resenting her. You're angry.
Oh,
And she
yes,
couldn't,
I am admitting that.
and
I
she
am
couldn't help
admitting
herself,
that.
just as you don't even know why you can't control your husband. I mean, you control your husband. You don't know why you do the things you do because you have not recognized that it's not you. Something else is driving you to do the things you do. It's not you. Something made a home in you.
Spiritually, yeah.
And so, what do you mean you don't know how to forgive your mother?
I mean, there have been times, where I told my mother, I forgive you for the way that we were brought up, and I forgive you for, the person that she was, and it'll keep coming back though.
But have you told her you were wrong for judging her? She can't help herself. You realize that? And I'm sorry because I can't help myself. Something else driving me. Have you apologized for judging her like that?
No, I haven't.
And why not?
I don't know.
Because as you judge, you're being judged. It's coming back on you. Nobody else is doing that but you because you're judging. You're not. If you want peace, you cannot judge. You got to go and apologize to your mother for resenting her for what she's done to you. Just as, and by realizing you can't help it. Look, you're so out of control. You can't help that, right?
Right.
And your mother can help herself. Forgive her, and then you move on. It doesn't mean you got to hang out with her. You don't have to let her see your child. You don't have to call her, but don't resent her. So you can be free and not pass that evil on to your family. You got to forgive your mother.
I will. Today.
And then with your father, when you asked your father to help you deal with your mother as a kid, what would he help you? What would he say when you asked him to help you deal with her?
My mom and my biological father, they split up when I wasn't even a year old yet.
Oh.
So it was a split family. And then I was raised by my stepfather. So that whole ordeal.
Yeah, about to say, that was a mess.
Yeah, I grew up in a mess for sure.
Every human being with a family grew up in a mess, whether the father was there or not. Do you know your father?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Are you able to talk to him?
Yes.
Ask your father why he didn't protect you from your mother. And you're going to see he married the woman that he hated. He married his mother, and the cycle repeated itself. He became the boy, your mama became his mama, and the war, he couldn't handle her, so he left.
Well, they were never married, so yeah, it was a big mess. They weren't even married, but
he couldn't deal with her because that was his mother. And he loved you. He just didn't know how to deal with her. You got to apologize to your father for resenting him. And then God will forgive you and make you free, and you will have perfect peace right here on earth. And when you drop your body, it will continue in perfect peace. But if you drop your body with anger, which is evil, it's going to continue in evil. You will have no peace ever. You won't even have a chance.
Yeah, I don't want that.
You got to forgive your father for not being there for you. He couldn't help it. And do the silent prayer, and your life will change. And what it means to surrender to God so that the 10 Commandments can come about, it means that you got to present your body a living sacrifice unto God, meaning all of your fears, anger, doubt, loneliness, suicidal thoughts, disobedience, evil. You got to fear and everything. You got to Live with that. Do nothing about it. Don't deny it. Be aware of it. Don't deny that it's there, but don't call it you. Don't try to get rid of it, escape it, but live with it, and the Spirit of God will destroy the darkness, the evil of Satan. He will take away all those things from you, and you will have a clear mind. You will be free. And you got to forget. You got to work on you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate your time.
And then all that stuff about the Lord, I went down, I accept the Lord, and the Lord, my Lord and Savior, and then one day I'm going to get to heaven. Forget about all that. Don't think about God, and then you shall know God. All of your ideas are just ideas about God. That's why they have not worked. They are intellectual ideas. Intellectual ideas about God does not work. It will never bring you peace. You want to know God, not just learn about God by reading the Bible and lifting up old land. You want to know Him. And the best way to know God is by not knowing Him, and you will know Him. So let all your ideas go. And when you read the Bible, do not read to remember. Let it go in one ear and out the other. Don't hold on to anything. You got some work to do, Melissa.
Yes.
Marissa.
Yes, I do.
So
That's
get
okay.
to work. So do the silent prayer. Are you doing the silent prayer?
I'm not. No,
What a
I'm,
mess.
I know. No, my husband sent me another link too about
Yeah, do
about
that.
prayer.
Do your little hooping and hollering. Because all those prayers you've been doing all your life, you've been praying to the devil and calling him God. And the devil did not answer. And the devil will answer, but he will give you those false salvation, material things, and then he'll laugh at you because he knows you have not found God and you're still going to be miserable. So be still and know God. God knows what you need. He knows what you want. You don't. He does. You got to completely surrender. Let go and let the Spirit of God do the work for you.
Okay. Thanks, Jesse.
And then when you do that, you will come to know you. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not your bodies. You're not the pain. You're none of those things. You're not your job. You're not your name. You're not your color. You're neither male nor female. You're going to come to know who you are. It's going to be amazing.
Amazing. Thanks, Jesse.
Let me know how it goes.
I will. Thank you.
God bless you.
You too.
All right. It's Wednesday. It's the last hour of the show on Wednesday. There's an order to life. And I know most people don't want it because most people are evil. Do you know that evil people will hunt you down to try to get a thrill from you? To make you afraid, to laugh, because they're wicked. And it's not them, but it's the evil in them. They love the thrill. They can't help it. You are not, and me, you and I are not in control of our lives at all. We're either controlled by evil, and all people are until they can admit they are evil, and then they shall be controlled by good, God. But wicked people are a mess. And look around you, look at your family, look at your husband, look at your wife, look at yourself, look at all evil. There's no love. Human beings would not be treating each other this way if they were not evil. Really. There's no love in that at all. Human beings do not have love. There's no good in human nature. Zero good. Amazing, huh? So we're trying to encourage you to return to the Father by forgiving your mother and your father, and God will forgive you. Change your heart from hate to love, from anger. All emotional people, whether so-called good emotion or bad emotion, are evil people. That's why you're emotional, because you're evil. And you call it good. You call it you. You say, I'm just human. What a sad way to live, huh? Drop your anger. It's Manhood Hour. Manhood Hour. What is a man? What is a man?
It's an adult human male.
Manhood. Hillary or President Trump?
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Beta. Beta male. A man is a male who turns to man. Alpha male. Live right, be right, and lead the way.
Remember that California was part of Mexico. All of the Southwest is Mexico. So
let me be clear. Congressional Democrats stand in full solidarity with the residents.
Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed.
A dead body has been discovered in Los Angeles where the mass looting was taking place.
Get it in your head.
There's no order, no discipline.
We do begin tonight with Los Angeles bracing tonight after sweeping immigration raids sparked protests and clashes tonight. A U.S. official now confirming to ABC News 700 Marines are now on their way to Los Angeles to join California's National Guard, which was deployed by the president, not that state's governor.
Amazing. Absolutely. What a mess. This is hell on earth coming through human beings. Coming through human beings. Your own family members. Human beings are nasty people until their heart change. And that can happen if you want to change. But most human beings do not want to change. Only a handful. Well, some of you know about the fight that was supposed to be happening with Elon Musk and the Great White Hope, Donald Trump. Remember that? Supposed to be happening? I don't know if it's real or not, but apparently something happened. Whether they're acting or they had a plan or what. Well, according to Fox News, tech executive Elon Musk said Wednesday that he regrets making some of his recent social media posts attacking President Donald Trump, admitting that went too far. Watch this from Fox.
Also new overnight, Elon Musk backtracking. It's called the Big Beautiful Backtrack. He tweeted this out. He said, I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far. He didn't say which one specifically that he regretted. We have some ideas. You want to read through them, Brian?
It says, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Not a good thing to say. Dems would control the House and Republicans would be down 51-49 in the Senate. Really not accurate, but you did put a lot of time in Pennsylvania, Elon. We know that.
He said this as well. In light of the president's statements about the cancellation of my government contract, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately.
And that's been deleted. He also said, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT.
Now, these are our opinion of what he might want to walk back. We don't know what he wants to walk back.
That one was deleted, too.
Amazing, huh? Evil causes you to do the things that you don't want to do to yourself because it's happening to you first. And then it try to happen, it makes you go after others. Because misery loves company. But every time you go after someone else, it's happening to you. You're burning while trying to burn others. You're burning. Fox News has reported a Minnesota state lawmaker told his colleagues on Monday that she is in the U.S. illegally, as is her family, and have been since fleeing Vietnam after the Vietnam War. Watch this from KARE 11.
Jana, this story's blown up on social media as people around the country have shared Representative Kali Herr's comments about her family's journey to the United States and their immigration status. The representative has since clarified that she and her parents are citizens, despite what her phrasing implied. As the legislative session ends, the arguing of lawmakers has faded into the background, replaced with history lessons from tour guides. But rewind to Monday afternoon in the heat of the special session.
I recognize a member from Ramsey, Representative Herr.
And another history lesson played out on the House floor.
You know, I came about this information really in a roundabout way.
During that floor session, House lawmakers debated the health care changes for undocumented adults.
I would like for you to put a face to the name.
Representative Kali Herr shared her own family history. Her parents immigrated to the United States from Laos after the Vietnam War. Her dad filled out the paperwork for the family.
And so what my father did was one of our uncles worked for USAID, and because his mother had died, my father, as the one processing the paperwork, put my grandmother down as his mother. And so I am illegal in this country. My parents are illegal here in this country.
Amazing, huh? You got an illegal alien in government. No wonder she's for the destruction of America. Foreigners should not be allowed, first of all, in the country illegally, and secondly, definitely not in government. Think about that. You got an illegal alien, and she's confessing it. And the guy also says she changed something about it. I forgot what he said. But apparently they did the paperwork. I guess she's supposed to be legal now. What a mess, huh? I in reflecting, and then I was talking to someone that I met a long time ago. Some people I met when I was first moved to L.A. And I used to spend a lot of time over in Compton, California. And so it's been a while. And the one thing that I discovered as a result of spending a lot of time in Compton, California, and Compton, California is part of South Central California, L.A. And so I used to spend a lot of time over there. And the one thing I discovered that at first I was surprised by, there were adults living in Compton and Watts. I never hear the name Watts anymore, Watts, California. And over that area, there were adults, and some teenagers, but adults, who had never crossed over to West L.A. They had never come over to West L.A. And the only surrounding or territory was right there in South Central L.A., Watts, Compton. They had never gone to West L.A. And West L.A. is just right there. You know, it's not like it's far away. It's right across the street almost. Yeah, about 15 minutes, 20 at best, if it's that far away. And so, and years have gone by, and some of them still have not gone over to West L.A. Isn't that amazing? And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And then I realized that's how most human beings are. Most human beings, except for a few, handful, most human beings never leave the territory, the area that they live in. They don't go right across the street to another city or another area, just to even look around or visit. And they spend a lifetime in that area, never discovering anything real or new. And what I mean about that is that most people never discover that there's another life, that there's a real life, because the life they live is fake, not real. But they never discover that there is a real life. There's another way to live. And they spend a lifetime living in the misery of their area. It doesn't matter how ghetto it's turned. It doesn't matter how much trouble they get. It doesn't matter if the house falls down. They stay in that area. And most human beings, it doesn't matter how angry they get. It doesn't matter that their lives are not working. It doesn't matter that they don't have peace. perfect peace. It doesn't matter that things are not working for them. They stay in that area of delusion. They stay in that area of anger. They stay in the area of fear. Think about your life. You've gotten old being afraid. And the older you get, the more afraid you become. Isn't that amazing? And you stay in that area. And you still trust that area and the surrounding things in that area, in that city. Like you still trust thoughts. You stay in that area of thoughts, and you still trust them, and you never venture out just to see, is it true that all thoughts are all lies all the time? You just trust them, and you never cross over to the other new territory. What a sad way to live. You never really give life a chance. And then you justify your fears, and you justify your worries, and you justify your lack of love. Your relationship can't work. Whatever kind of relationship, it doesn't matter the type. And you still won't cross the border. And you can tell people, you know what? It's better on the other side. Right there on that, go to the other side of that road. Life is better. You'll be free. You'll finally have freedom. You won't be enslaved anymore. And you won't even cross the road. What a sad way to live, huh? You won't take the chance, the risk of finding a new life. You're stuck, and you want to be stuck. And you want to be stuck so you can live in the misery of your area and complain. Just think about it. What would you do if you had zero problems? What would you do with yourself? You don't know what you would do with yourself because you love the illusion of problems. You don't want to be free. Because being busy trying to fix problems makes you feel like there's a you. Makes you feel real, like you're working on something. You don't want to be free of problems. The illusion of problems, because in reality, there are no problems. No one has any problems at all. Zero problems. But you want to tell you that? You're like, I do have problems. Help me with my problem. I'm working on my problem. I'm stressed behind my problems, you say. I worry. I have fear. And you never cross over to freedom. Even Christ told you over and over again that it is done, it is finished, evil has been defeated, it has no power, no authority, no nothing. Even the sting of death has been taken away. But you say, no, someday when I die, I'm going to heaven. When I die, I'm going to have peace. I don't expect to have it here. I'm only human, you say. What a sad way to live, huh? You love your misery. That's why you won't leave your town. Because you love the misery of living in that town. Meaning, that's why you won't leave the imagination, the dark world of thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. You won't leave there because you love it. You're telling me I can have peace if I just dare to distrust a thought and emotions? My emotions are real. How would I show love if I don't have emotions? You say. And the wife tell her husband, you don't love me. You don't care about my emotions. You don't care about how I feel. He's like, no, I don't. And she get mad because he won't go along with her hell. She called hell emotions. She called that her. Those are my emotions, she says. And you better care about them. What a mess. Why not give it a chance? Cross over to the other side of the road and see what's over there. Go to West L.A. and see what it looked like. You might see sunshine. Amazing. Let me go to Jared, our first-time caller out of Seattle, Washington. Jared, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
All right. Thank you, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
So you've been in L.A. How have the riots been?
They're fun. We're having fun.
That's hey, Jesse. So I listened to your two pods on with the fighters with Bryce Mitchell and James Vick, and you were talking to them about their parents and stuff. And like, I haven't got along well with my dad for going on about 3 or 4 years now, and like every time he talks, I just feel like he's like being disrespectful or he has the wrong tone with me, and it literally just like enrages me and like ruins my whole day.
How old are you?
34.
And so give me an example of the way he speaks to you that enrages you.
Maybe he's just like, "Oh, come on, you hard ass, you'll be okay," or whatever, and you know, instead of actually, like, basically he only talks about like material things, like, "Oh, I'm working on the cabin," or whatever. We got big projects coming up, but he'll never like talk about the past the past 8 years in our family that's been really fucked up, and like all the drama that we've been going through with everyone in the family. Like, he just acts like it didn't happen.
And so what gives you the right to be angry at him because of the way he is? What gives you the right to be mad at him?
Well, that's a fantastic point.
No, that was a question.
I mean, right. I mean, I just feel like, you know, like since I'm his son, he should, I felt like he should have been a stronger leader of the family. And like when we had problems with my sister and like his ex-wives, like I felt like he should have stepped up and like kept those toxic people away out of our family to keep the family strong.
And what gives you the right to be angry at him about that?
Well, I just feel like I've been cheated out of a few great years with Dad because he's been focusing on people that have actually been messing up our life.
So people like your mother and others?
Like my sister and his ex-wife.
Oh, you didn't have a mother?
I have a mother. They never got married, but they were together for like 7 years.
Oh, okay. And did he deal with your mother the right way?
I have no idea. They broke up when I was probably about 1 or 2.
Oh, I see. So you don't really have a relationship with your father?
We used to be best friends when he was with another woman for about 10 years, and I loved this. Like, this woman was like a great mother figure. She was like a great woman. But then he left her, and he picked up a very toxic woman, and our whole family went to crap.
Now that you're 31, what would happen if you forgave your father, realizing that he couldn't help himself just as you can't help yourself? What would happen if you forgave him and not be angry at him or anyone at all? What would happen to you?
I really tried, and then when he calls me, I don't know, I just like his tone of voice. I feel like he's trying to act all tough and act all hard, and when I feel like what our family really needs is like love and compassion.
But you're a grown man now. Do you need that?
You said, do I need it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a grown man. I don't know. I feel like I lost my dad.
And so do you need love and compassion from him?
I think that's the missing key component to fix our relationship. I think.
But if you were to forgive him, would that fix your relationship with him?
I'm sure it would.
So why don't you forgive him, knowing that he can't help himself, just as you can't help yourself? Look at all the horrible mistakes you have made and how screwed up your life is.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And so your life is screwed up. What give you the right? Would you want your father to be angry at you about your life?
No, sir.
And why not?
Because I'm his son. I feel like he kind of has like an obligation to love me.
He doesn't have love to give you.
Why not?
Do you have love?
Do I have love?
Do you have love?
No, not really.
Why not?
I don't know.
So how are you expecting love from him when you don't have love to give?
I don't know.
Is it possible he doesn't have love to give? Your mother don't have love to give? No one has love to give. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, I know my mom loves the heck out of me because she takes care of me like all the time. She's helping me out. Times have been hard, and she stays like at the ready to like be my number one supporter, but he doesn't.
Your number one supporter in what way?
Like financially.
And you're 31?
34.
34. And why do you call that love, that your mother is always there to help you? Why do you call that love?
Because she time and time again saves my ass from when I'm almost totally screwed without bill money.
But without what?
Without money for bills.
And if she loved you, would she let you suffer through that so you can overcome? Or would she save you from it so you never grow up?
Well, I've been working on I've been following my dreams, like trying to become a fighter. And so I haven't had much money for bills because you have to basically focus on fighting.
If your mother loved you, would she stop saving you from your misery? Or will she let you suffer so you can grow up?
Well, I feel like I am growing up because I have a plan to get a CDL, and then I want to open my own gym, and she's making sure that I'm able to chase my dream without being homeless.
If your mother loved you, would she let you suffer and grow up? Or would she save you and prevent you from growing up?
Well, that's a good question.
And what's the answer?
Well, I'm just trying to follow my dreams, and if my mom supports me do that, then I feel like, heck yeah, she loves me and wants her son to be happy.
If your mother loved you, would she let you find your own way and grow up? Or would she get in the way and stop you from growing up?
Well, I don't know, Jesse, because I'm getting my CDL, I'm getting my OSHA 30 safety certification. I graduated from college. I'm getting a bunch of certifications.
But you're 34 years old. Why not get a job too?
Well, I'm in the union in Seattle, construction, and about a year ago, the union work you just dried up.
But that's the only job in Seattle?
Well, I applied to become a cop, but I ended up making it a little bit far, and then I got booted out of that process.
If your mother were not around, God forbid if she had died, who would take care of you?
If she died, there would be a hefty sum of money coming in my will, and then I would start my my gym.
That's amazing. Your mother don't love you because your mother, yeah, she's stifling your life, and she's in the way. She's like a welfare, the government. She's stopping you from growing up because you can find your own way. You're 34 years old. You can still work on becoming a boxer or whatever, but have a job taking care of yourself. If your mother loved you, she would let you go so you can grow up and become independent.
Well,
your mother don't love you. That's hate.
What?
Yeah, that's hate. That's not love.
How's that hate?
Because she's stopping you from becoming an independent person. She is the government to you. And that's why your father didn't stay with her. He couldn't deal with the hell in your mother. And he didn't like the fact that your mother was spoiling you and preventing you from growing up, but he didn't know how to deal with her to make her stop.
Well, why couldn't he figure it out?
In the same way that you can't figure it out. Why can't you figure it out, your life?
Well,
you gotta if you want to be free, you gotta forgive your mother for recreating her image and making you dependent on her, and forgive your father because he didn't know how to deal with the hell in your mother. In the same way, he doesn't know how to deal with the women that he is involved in now. He hated his mother as well. And forgive him. He didn't like the fact that she was spoiling you, causing you to be weak in life. He just didn't know how to stop her. Forgive him for that, and so that you can become free and love your parents. And love is not what you think it is, but you'll be able to love them even though they have no love to give, neither one of them.
So you're saying I will have love, but they will not have love?
Unless they forgive so that God can forgive them, they won't have love. They don't have love to give you, neither one of them. They only have hate.
Why would a woman basically give money to someone she hates?
To control them. And to feel a false goodness about herself. She feels like she's a good person doing that, even though she knows she's not good, and she has control over you.
So are you saying that I shouldn't be chasing my dreams, trying to open up a martial arts school?
You can open up the school, but you should also, you're 34 years old, you should be taking care of yourself financially as well and not rely on your mother or anyone.
I definitely don't plan to rely on her after I get my CDL next month and start driving a big truck. She's just helping me in the meantime while I get that.
No, if you don't stop right now relying on your mother, when you get the truck license thing, you're going to still rely on her. Or you'll find another mother to rely on.
What? Say what?
You got to forgive you. If you want to be free, you got to forgive your mother for what she's done to you. She's made you dependent instead of independent. And contact your father and forgive him too. And once you love them by forgiving them, you're going to be fine. You're going to be free on the inside. And you're going to be surprised at the things you can do for yourself. You'll be just fine. But you got to drop the anger.
I tried to forgive my dad before, then...
Did you apologize to him for resenting him?
Not in those words.
So you have not forgiven him then. You're not trying to forgive him. You gotta, forgiveness is, I'm sorry for resenting you. I'm sorry for judging you. When I was a kid, I couldn't help it. But now that I'm adult, I realize you can't help yourself, Father, just as I can help myself. And I'm sorry for resenting you. And the same thing with your mother. You need to forgive your mother for recreating you in her image. Your mother controlled you. That's why she gets on your nerves at times. She's controlling you and you know it. But you're so dependent on her, you're afraid to let go of her because you're not dependent on yourself. The problem is with you. You got to drop your anger. Forgive your mother. Why haven't you forgiven your mother?
I'm not very mad at Mom.
Why haven't you forgiven her for the little mad that you have at her?
I called you about, I don't know I'm so mad at Mom. I'm more mad at Dad.
But you're only mad at your father because you've identified with your mother. You see your father through your mother's eyes and not your own. Your mother played victim and you identified with her, and now you're mad at her as well. Why don't you forgive her?
I don't think I'm mad at her.
You are. You're mad that she made you so dependent on her.
I figured I thought that would be more my fault than hers being dependent.
No, she did that to you when you were a kid all your life. She played victim. She took care of you. She turned you away from your father. And now that you're an adult, you have not grown into being independent. And she made you that way while pretending that she loved you. And that's why she gets on your nerve, because you hate her, you don't love her. You know she's done this to you. But then because of your anger, you think you still need her, and so you stand up a little bit. When you get angry, you don't really let it all out. Sometimes you do, but you don't want to lose her because in your mind you need her.
Right.
And that's why you don't.
But also, I don't want to lose her because that'd be disrespectful. And a little. Is it not? I mean, I feel like there's a little bit of you're supposed to respect your parents.
If you respect them, you will forgive them. You don't respect them. That's why you have not forgiven them. They have done the best they could. They gave you only what they had to give. They don't have love. And if you respected them, you would forgive them. You don't respect your parents. You hate your parents.
Yeah, I mean, I hate everybody. Shoot. I don't know why I said that. Just when you said that, that just came to my mind.
Right. All you have is hatred. You're no different than your father, and you're no different than your mother. You all hate. You have no love. And that's what's driving you crazy, keeping you and keeping you in fear. You can't take care of yourself because you have that hatred and you have fear. Anyone that has anger has fear. You think that, well, if I got a job, how am I going to get my CDL license? If I had a job, how do this? And it's because you have fear. You have no love, and you only have fear. I got to run, but if you want to be free, you got to go to both of your parents and apologize for resenting them. They could not help themselves. And God, don't ask for forgiveness. You apologize for resenting them, and the Father God will forgive you, and He will give you perfect peace.
I'm going to try that.
And let me know how it goes. Do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer. But you got to forgive your mother. You hate your mother. She's turned you away from your father. She does not love you.
So, but you're saying my mother she was trying to control me, so that I have to forgive her for making me dependent?
100%.
Yeah, that's crazy, because I thought she was saving me from homelessness. I mean, it's not like we have millions, but she just is giving me enough money to get my bills paid on time.
She gave you just enough to control you.
All right, thanks, Jesse. I'm going to try and swallow my pride and say an apology to my parents.
Yes. I wish you well. I got to take a break. Hate news, not the fake news. Straight back to the calls after this break. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Rochelle, our first-time caller out of Minnesota. Rochelle, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well.
Very good. Very good. I was just gonna piggyback off of Chris's message about how, like, why you wouldn't be distraught about why you destroyed a Bible, because I've also destroyed like a 1925 Bible, and
you tore it up.
I didn't tear it up. No, I was walking in the rain, and the rain destroyed it.
Oh.
So, yeah, and it completely destroyed me. I was totally distraught, like, afterwards, because, like, I couldn't fix it. I didn't know what to do about it. And I also wanted to answer your question about.
So, did you feel bad about it because did it worth a lot of money or something?
I mean, it's. What is it called? It's no, when it's called like it's
antique.
Like it's unexpensible. Like, it's something that's worth nothing because it's worth so much, you know?
No.
I don't remember what it's called.
What?
Sentimental, but not
Priceless.
sentimental.
It was priceless?
Yes, priceless.
What does that mean?
Well, because it was so old that it had all the pictures in it and it had everything in it that I was just like it was worth so much to me, and I just completely destroyed it.
But it's going to fade away anyway. It was just paper. It was dirt. It's going to disappear anyway.
But I love that you're trying to make me feel better about it. But
I'm not trying to make you feel better about it at all. I'm just telling you it was just a piece of paper, and it's going to dry up. It's going to dry up and crumble away anyway.
But it was from 1925. Like, that's like it's sentimental at that point. Like, not only sentimental, but it's like it's worth more than what it. You know, it's just worth more than that.
And so, why would you make a book sentimental?
Because it has knowledge. It has knowledge, and
but it can't it have the knowledge without you being emotionally tied to it?
Well, I mean, it's worth so much at that point that it's.
Can it still be of value without you being emotionally attached to it?
That's a good question, because honestly, I mean, it has so much value to it.
Can it be of value without you being emotionally attached to it?
I'm too emotionally attached to it, so
I said, can it be of money value, good knowledge in the Bible without you being emotionally attached to it?
I mean, if I wanted to sell it, I'm pretty sure it'd be worth like at least, I want to say 150,
right?
Maybe more.
But why would you need to be emotionally attached to that?
Because it has knowledge.
But why would you need to be attached to it, though?
Because knowledge is important.
Why is that?
Knowledge. Because what did everyone fight for so hard back in the they fought hard for knowledge. Like, they wanted to know how to read, they wanted to know how to write.
But if you notice, people with knowledge are evil.
I don't know. I never thought of knowledge to be evil, unless like you're learning. I mean, I don't know, because in this world, like
Knowledge puffed
is,
up people. That's why you're not supposed to hold on to knowledge. Knowledge comes to bring you information, but you're not supposed to hold on to it. You should get an understanding and let knowledge go away, because knowledge makes you think you are something that you're not. It gives you a false sense of security. It gives you a false impression of yourself. It makes you think that everybody should respect you and do this because you have the knowledge. It puffs you up.
isn't that what it's supposed to do?
No.
I mean,
But when
yeah,
you puff
I mean,
you up,
kinda,
it kills
like,
you.
But how do you make that, like, how do you make that, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for, like, how does that make you know that you're, you're better, better than someone? Because, like,
Because it makes you
knowledge,
think you are. It makes you think you're smart. It makes you think you're better. It makes you think people have to treat you a certain way because you are better. You have knowledge. You have the Bible, or you have a degree, a preacher degree, or something. It makes you think you're something that you need to protect, that you're not. And then if people don't treat you according to your knowledge, you get mad because they're not treating you with this false image that you have of yourself.
that's a good point. I respect that. But I still believe that knowledge does make you better.
It doesn't.
You know?
There's not one person on earth that ever got better with knowledge. Not one.
I don't know. There's a saying that my grandfather used to say that knowledge makes you better, or something along those lines.
And where's your grandfather now?
He's still alive, and he's still doing his what are those called? Nonprofit organizations. And he's
I
doing
rest
his
my
thing.
case. If you know Grandpa, you see that he's no good. He worked hard He worked hard to try to present himself as a good person. He has a nonprofit. He feeds the hunger. He's always busy so that he cannot.
He is always busy.
Right, because he doesn't want to see that he's no good. It's all about hiding. It's all about himself and no one else. He cannot face that he's no good.
But he always calls me, and he always makes sure I'm good. If I'm not good, then he always gives me the means that I need necessary.
But that's what no good people do. They always try to make you feel good so they can feel good.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
Then if it's not true, why doesn't it work when he calls you to make you feel good?
Say that again?
If it's not true, he's just doing that to make you feel good so he can feel good. Why doesn't his phone calls work on you?
Who said they never work?
Why doesn't they work on you?
Okay, that's a serious question because, I mean, when he calls, I almost always answer. But, like...
Why is it when a good grandfather calls you to make you feel good, it doesn't work?
It does work.
It
Because
doesn't.
whenever I talk to my grandpa,
it makes you
it does.
feel.
It does.
It makes you feel good for a minute, and then you cry at night.
Okay. I hope he's not watching this.
Why not? Why?
Because when I do cry, like, I'm like, oh shit, I wish I was like good in my grandfather's eyes.
See that?
And,
You got a no good man trying to make a no good woman believe she's good. And now you try to be good in grandpa's eyes, and it never works.
Oh, okay. No, but it does
should
work
never
because
try-
it did work one time.
What?
It worked one time.
No, it didn't. It never worked.
Yeah, it did. It worked because when I needed someone to tell me that I was doing bad, like my mom wasn't working, so I called my grandpa and I was like, "Grandpa, look, I'm not doing well," and da 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 da. And he was like, "Okay, listen to me. All you need to do is da 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 da, and you'll do better." And I did.
And then you cried.
I did cry, but that's because I needed to.
No, it's because it didn't work. It just
No,
gave you
it's-
it gave because of time I'm gonna have to run, but it gave you a temporary feeling, and then you cried when that feeling left.
but okay. So, anyways, I'm not going to answer that.
Why don't you
respond to
drop
that.
your anger?
My anchor?
Yeah.
I always drop my anchor.
Why
Whenever
don't
I
you
feel
drop
comfortable, I
the-
always drop.
Why don't you drop the anger so you can be free?
I wish I could, but
Why
I'm
don't you?
still, I don't drop the anchor because I do always drop the anchor. I
No,
drop
you
it halfway
don't. You
down.
love your anger.
Because chaos, okay? So whenever I feel chaos, I always feel comfortable.
Right.
So whenever I'm like, okay,
You
I feel
love your
in a-
misery. You love your thrill of chaos. That's why you won't drop the anger.
okay. But anyways,
Why
I
don't
was
you
gonna
drop
say-
it so you can be free and you won't need Grandpa to call you and lie to you?
because I need Grandpa to lie to me. Because not only just lie to me, he tells me the truth. He tells
No, he
me the
doesn't.
truth.
Grandpa
Yes,
does
he
not tell
does.
you the truth. If he told you the truth, you stop crying at night.
I don't cry at night.
Yes, you
I don't
do.
cry, period.
Yeah, you
no,
cry.
I really don't.
You cry in
No.
your mind. You may not be crying tears, but you're crying in your mind. You're miserable.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm really
That's why you need
I mean-
Grandpa to lie to you.
okay. That's partially the reason, but listen.
No, that is
okay,
the
just
full
listen
reason.
for a second.
Okay.
No. Okay, just listen. Okay, so when I called my grandpa, I needed him to yell at me. Not because I needed someone to stern me out. Like that was gonna be like, hey, listen, you're not doing the right thing and you need to do this, this and this. A, B, and C. And I was like, okay, yeah, I really do need someone to tell me the point A, point B, point C.
Why
Because
don't you
if
drop
I'm-
the anger so you don't need that? Why not be free
Am I-
every day, all the time? Don't you want?
Am I going to be the one to tell me that I'm not doing A, point B, point C, right?
Who
'Cause
are you?
honestly,
Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I?
Right.
I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I know that, like, if
Who
I'm,
are
If
you?
I'm Rochelle Alexis Tungland. That's all I know.
What?
I'm Rochelle Alexis Tungland. That's
Don't
all
say
I
your
know.
last name, but that's your name. Who are you?
That's all I know.
Won't you
Rochelle
find out
Alexis.
that? Won't you find that out? You're put on this earth to overcome the false you. Why don't you overcome?
Overcome what? My
The false
calling
self.
or my what?
Your false self.
My false self. My ego.
Right.
But what is? Yeah, I don't know, because my ego and my like facade, I'll say, is different. It's totally different. And I don't really know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. Oops, excuse me. Excuse my language. I don't know what my
So why don't you
What my-
start working on you? Drop the anger by seeing that you're angry. Forgive your mother, your father, and God will forgive you. Practice being present and work on you so you don't need Grandpa or anyone to lie to you.
But my grandpa doesn't lie to me.
Yes,
and
he
he's
does.
the one that I can.
When he makes
No.
you feel good, he's lying to you.
But he doesn't make me feel good. That's the
you
problem.
said he
He
does.
makes me feel like shit. Okay. I mean, excuse my language. I'm sorry. He
Is it-
makes me feel like.
Do
he
you?
makes me
That's
feel
your
like-
husband in the background.
Yes.
Do you obey your husband?
As much as I can, yes.
Do you
I
obey
mean, I
your
try
husband?
to. Yes.
So why do you need your grandfather if you're obeying your husband?
Because there's an age difference.
You're
so,
older
like,
than your
one has more
husband?
wisdom. No.
So why do
He's
you
older than
need
me.
your grandfather if you're obeying your husband?
Because my grandfather has always been there for me since I was young. Like,
And now
he
your
always
husband
been
is there for you. Why do you still need your grandfather?
Because sometimes my grandfather knows best. You know, like
He knows
he's my
better than your
grandfather.
husband?
I mean, there's an age gap, so yes.
So you're older than your husband?
No, I'm not.
Why
no,
you say
my
there's an age
husband-
gap?
Because there's an age gap between my husband and my grandfather.
I know, but your grandfather is leading you down the wrong path. He's keeping you in hell. Even when he makes you feel bad, he's still keeping you in hell.
My grandfather?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
But how if
I
he's
testify.
not keeping you in health, does it feel good to feel bad?
It's just a feeling.
It
There is
doesn't
no
feel
negative
good when he
or
makes you
negative,
feel
I
bad.
mean, negative or positive.
When he makes you feel bad, is that feeling good?
If there's no.
And you
I
like
mean,
feeling bad?
Sometimes I need to feel bad.
So you love
it's
your
not-
thrills then. That's why you like Grandpa yelling at you, because you love the thrill of feeling bad. I
It's
gotta
because
run.
sometimes I need to feel bad. Oh,
What?
you gotta run?
Yeah, because
I
of
mean-
time. Call me again.
Okay.
You say you need to feel bad?
Sometimes I do.
And who need to feel bad? Why do you need that kind of thrill?
Because sometimes when you're doing bad, you need to feel bad.
Why
Am I
you
wrong?
need that kind of a thrill?
It's not a thrill.
It is
It's
a
just
thrill. Feeling bad is a thrill. It's a feeling, right?
I mean,
It's feeling
you
bad
gotta run.
and emotion.
So I don't know how to answer this.
It's feeling bad and emotion.
You got other callers, and I don't
It
want to.
is feeling bad and emotion. Yes or no?
Is feeling bad and emotions the same? Yes or no? No.
Is feeling
Feeling
bad.
bad is an
do you-
emotion.
I'm sorry?
Feeling bad is an emotion.
Right.
Because you're
And,
feeling,
and so emotions are thrills. Is that true?
not always.
No,
Because
emotion
emotions
is
can be
always a
anything.
thrill. That's why
No.
you want it.
No.
When
No,
emotion
because you
is
can
not
feel
a
bad.
thrill. Anytime you're
No,
feeling it,
it's
it's
not
a
a
thrill.
thrill. No.
It is.
I disagree.
Why?
Because when you're feeling bad, you don't feel good, and that's not a thrill. Like, I mean, if you're on.
If it wasn't
Okay, shut up.
if it wasn't a your husband
Sorry.
talking to you, you yelling at your husband like that?
Yes, because because he's trying to sit there and agree with you, and I'm like, no, this
It is a
just
thrill.
not
If it
right.
wasn't a thrill, you wouldn't love it when your grandfather called you and give you that thrill.
It doesn't give me a thrill. It gives me like a sense of realization.
No, it
Okay?
gives you a thrill. Realization does not come with thrills,
Okay, but not in a good way.
but it's still a
Because
thrill.
when you say thrill,
Yeah.
when you say thrill, it sounds good.
Right? It
when
is.
you say
You love
thrill,
it.
it sounds like you're at the tip of a roller coaster and you're like ready to like
But
climax or whatever.
listen, I got to run, but you love it. That's why you like it when Grandpa call you and give you a thrill.
Okay, but I need what if I needed? Okay.
Call me back.
I guess I agree. Okay, I will.
You say you do agree?
I agree. Yes.
I know. It's a thrill, and you love the thrills.
Because I needed that thrill, like it
Right,
was,
because
know?
you love evil.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
No,
you say
I
you
don't.
love that thrill.
Because it's a sense of realization.
No,
a
it's
sense
not.
Of like,
There's
hey,
no
your grandpa's
realization
right.
in that.
You need to stop what you're doing because you're not going on the right path. Type shit. You know what I mean?
Rochelle,
Excuse my
call me
language. I'm
again.
sorry.
Call me again.
I will.
All right.
I will.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Super chat. So, look like there's a physical war going on, or at least the sign of one. I don't know if they have not declared war yet that I'm aware, but Israel and Iran, Iraq, is going at it. Iran. Last night, or yesterday, it all depends on what part of the world you live in. According to the New York Post, Israel launched a stunning series of strikes on Friday morning on Iran nuclear sites. And they killed several of the nation's security chiefs. Watch this from WHAS 11.
This morning, the Middle East on edge after Israel carried out major attacks on Iran, aimed at decimating Iran's nuclear program in hopes of preventing the country from building a nuclear bomb. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calling it Operation Rising Lion.
And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival.
Netanyahu says they targeted Iran's nuclear weaponization program, main enrichment facility, and scientists he says were working on a bomb. Iranian state TV says 2 top nuclear scientists were killed, including this man, Freydun Abbasi. This morning, Iran's supreme leader promising severe punishment on Israel. In Iran's capital of Tehran, the injured sitting on sidewalks, this building blown apart, with rubble coating cars.
Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal.
In Tel Aviv, people stocking up on supplies amid fears of Iran's retaliation. Hospitals preparing underground medical facilities. Tel Aviv's airport now closed until further notice. The Trump administration distancing itself from the strikes. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says, "We are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel."
Amazing. 2 men fighting. So the man in Iran is the super prime minister. What do they call him?
Supreme leader.
Supreme leader. That's like Trump.
Based.
Isn't Trump the supreme leader of America? Maybe of the world. Amazing. Don't mess with Israel. Don't mess with the Jews. Don't mess with the Jews. They live in this little small area of the world, and yet they have mighty power. I wonder why. Oh, those are God's chosen people. Don't mess with God's people. That's amazing they were able to get rid of that guy, the security chief. All the way from Israel over to that man's house. Amazing. Jerusalem Post is reporting roughly 100 explosive laden drones were launched from Iran and Iraq toward Israel in the early hour of Friday morning. That would be today. Watch this from Fox News.
Hi, Carly and Todd. Israel says that it has identified as many as 100 drones launched by Iran heading toward Israeli airspace. And Israel says that it has started to at least attempt to shoot down some of those drones over Syrian airspace as Jordan is attempting to take down some of the drones that are above its airspace. At the same time, we just got this new alert from Israel's home command urging people that they do not need to stay as close to shelters as they had been in the previous hours, indicating that Israel and the Israeli Defense Force believe at this point that they will be able to take out the incoming threat as we await what could be these waves of drones sent over anytime this hour. All of this follows what happened earlier this morning when Israel says it targeted the heart of Iran's nuclear capabilities in an operation it calls Rising Lion.
Amazing, huh? Just think about that. Human beings, men killing one another and others like that. You know human heart is evil. And they're killing each other over ego, perceived power. Amazing. And I was reflecting on this. If Donald Trump was not in office right now, we would be having the same issues in this country. They would be attacking us. Just think about this. You live in a country where people have to build underground shelters, or you walking up and down the road and you never know when you might be attacked by a drone or some type of bomb coming in. Can you imagine living in a world like that? Well, get ready. If Donald Trump is if y'all let Donald Trump lead the White House, and you get a Democratic president, president, we will be having to hide in underground basements too, bunkers, whatever you call it. We will be attacked. And the proof is in the pudding. You have our enemies on our soil in our country with head rags on their heads chanting death to America, death to Israel on our soil. Think about that. And they're getting away. Well, not quite now that Donald Trump is there, but before Donald Trump, they were getting away with it in our country and chanting death to us. Don't tell me the next step is not for a war. Iraq, Iran, or somebody attacking us like that. What else left? What's the next step? They got, here in L.A., and I guess around the country, some parts of the country, they are throwing rocks and bricks and bombs, little firebomb things, at the police officers and National Guard. They're throwing rocks and things and not even afraid of being arrested. And somebody is paying for it. They're hiring these people to attack democracy in America. What do you think the next step is? Do you want to live in a country where you're afraid walking home or driving home or just hanging out? A bomb will come in at any moment and just kill you? That's the next step. Because I remember when death to America was only chanted over there. It wasn't on our soil at that time. And I never imagined that anyone would even have the nerve to come here and say death to us. But you put the wrong people in the White House, and now you haven't. And now those very same people that brought these people here with open borders, by way of open border and so-called educational thing, whatever they let them in on, are the very same people that protested with them while chanting death to America, burning American flag. Another thing I noticed too, we got too many foreigners in government, state and local government. I want to show you this guy he's a foreigner. He's in our government, and he has foreigner mentality. He is not an American. He does not support America, even though he's in American government. How did that happen? And this is all for the thrill of it. This man is working overtime, as all the Democrats are doing now, to get their name out there. They want you to know who they are. And if you're black, they want you to know who they is. But if you're white, they want you to know who they are. They want their name out there. It's not about the people at all. It's about ego and attention for self. But the most people are going to think, well, not the most, but the people that live in this are going to think it's about them, and it's not. Nobody even heard this man before this happened. And it looked like every Democrat want to get arrested. Trump, arrest me. Come for me. You got to arrest me. Arrest me. Ever since Donald Trump was arrested and went to court and all that, now everybody, and Baby Mama want to be arrested. Lord have mercy. Nobody wanted to be arrested before. Now everybody's just dying to be arrested. What manner of man is Donald Trump? Even his enemies want to be arrested now. It worked out for Donald Trump because he was on the right side. These people are not on the right side. And their arrests are going to be in vain. But they don't know that. There's this man, this is from NBC LA. There's this man by the name of Alex Padilla, a so-called senator. And he was removed from a news conference with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Norm on yesterday. Watch this.
We are staying here to liberate this city from the socialist and the burdensome leadership that this governor and that this mayor have placed on this country and what they have tried to insert into this city. So I want to say thank you to every single person that has been able to do this. Also, I want to talk specifically.
Hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed?
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, it's right, behind my back.
All right, cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat. Other hand, sir.
I'm a senator. I'm a senator. And you breaking the law, sir.
There's no recording loud out here.
Amazing. And they show him walking down the hall, arrested and stuff like that. All for the thrill and attention. Nobody ever heard of Senator, what's his name? Podesta.
Alex Padilla.
Adam Padilla, whatever his name. It's all for the attention. Now everybody want to be arrested. And they begging to be arrested. And right after this, nearly all the Democrats went to the microphone. This guy held a press conference right after that. He went outside to have the press conference. He wants you to remember who he was, who he is. And then all the Democrats held press conference right after. It almost appeared to be planned that way. Let's see here. Maria say Padilla.
Padilla.
Padilla is well known in the Hispanic community. I know, Maria, that's the problem. We got these foreigners running our country. You heard his name before?
I've heard that name before, yep.
Oh.
But I didn't know, or maybe I forgot that he was a senator. I think they put him in as a senator after somebody left or something.
Oh.
Maybe they voted him in, but it's relatively new that he's a senator. Alex Padilla.
Our friend Maria, thank you. Appreciate that, Maria. I had never heard of this guy. It's unfortunate, too, as I'm reading this. In our country today, there are nothing but separate communities. The Mexican got their communities, the black got their communities, the Asian have their community, the Mexican and Hispanic is the same thing, right?
Yeah, in your vernacular, yes.
And then the white people got their vicinity, even though everybody want to move in the white area, they don't want to move in all those other areas. The black folks have theirs. We're divided. What about united under God? Remember when that used to be pushed in America? We are all one. When I was growing up, I heard that all the time, that we are one nation under God. I thought it was true. And it was then. But not now. 888-7753-773. Let me go to a first-time caller out of Tampa, Florida. Austin. Austin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, before we get started, I know that you're based in Los Angeles, so just want to say I hope you stay safe out
come
there.
Back, speak right into your, Austin, speak right into your phone.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I was just saying that I know you're based out in Los Angeles, so I just wanted to let you know that you're in my prayers. I know there's a lot of craziness going on right now. So I hope you stay safe out there.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So listen, I had some questions.
Thelma, are you on a speakerphone or something? Because you keep going in and out. Hold on a minute, buddy.
All right.
Don't hang up. Let's try it again. Okay. Let's try it now.
Can you hear me okay?
I can, but stay with the phone. You're not on the Bluetooth or anything, are you?
I was on speaker. like your guy told me not to do. So
That's
sorry about
amazing.
that. So listen, I had some questions. I was going to talk about Israel and Iran because obviously, you know, that's a big part of scriptures is Israel, you know, being in the, you know, the final days, the war comes in, you know, and all that stuff. And I wanted to get your opinion on that. But I was listening to you talk to the previous caller, and he mentioned Jesus being Lord and God, and you said that he wasn't God, which kind of took me off guard because he is. So
He is, you say?
I was a little confused. So I wanted to talk with you about that because you mentioned in the scriptures how Jesus never says he's God, and that's just not true.
Let me ask you first. Did you say he? Did you say he?
Scriptures?
Austin?
Go ahead.
Did you say he is God?
He is God.
And where did he say that he was God?
So there are times throughout the scriptures where Jesus talks about, you know, seeing Abraham, and the Pharisees are asking him, like, hey, you know, and I'm paraphrasing here, but they're saying, hey, you know, how can you see Abraham? You're not older than us. Like, how? And then he talks about how, you know, I am. He uses those words, I am, right? Which is, we both know what God said to Moses, right? So he's using the same language that the Lord used in the Old Testament. And just to add to that point, when they heard this, they picked up stones to stone him because they knew what he was saying, that he and the Father were one. And so they were going to stone him for that because that's blasphemy, right? So that's one part. There's other parts.
Stop right there because it's not Bible thumping through. Stop there. But
I
where
wrote
did
some
Jesus?
down here because I don't have them all memorized.
Austin
But,
can't hear me, huh?
you know,
Austin, hold on.
You mentioned.
Hold on. There, apparently he cannot hear me. Is that true, Nick? I mean, a boy.
Sometimes that happens where people can't hear you very loudly. So
Why
if
not?
they're talking, they can't hear you.
Oh, Austin, don't talk. Don't hang up, Austin. I want to come back to you. We got to find out what's going on with the phone. 888-7753-773. Let me try Austin again. Austin, let's try it again. Where in the Bible did Jesus himself ever say that he was God? Not what the people said about him, but where did he say that he was God?
Hey, Jesse. Sorry, I was having some phone issues. I didn't hear you were trying to respond to me.
Oh, okay. I said, where in the Bible where Jesus said he is God? Not what the other people call him or what they had to say about him, but where in the Bible did he say, I am God?
Okay. What about in the book of John when the Pharisees talked to him about how he said he knew Abraham, and he says, I am, and uses that same language? What about that?
But where in the Bible does it say, does he say, I am God? He said many times, I'm the Son of God. My Father sent me. I work for my Father, But where in the Bible did he ever say, I am God? Not what they said about him or how they misread him or misunderstood him. Where did he ever say he is God?
Okay, so he says, I and the Father are one.
Right. He and Daddy are one.
Gospel.
But where did he say he was God?
Okay, I see what you're trying to do here.
What am I trying to do?
Do you understand the
What
Trinity?
am I trying to
works?
do? What am I trying to do?
Well, it obviously doesn't say that clearly right there, but there is.
So why are you saying that if he
throughout the Bible?
If he never said it about him, if he never said it about himself, why are you saying it?
He did say it. He just didn't use that exact language.
Where did he say that he was God?
In the book, in the Gospel of John, he talks about how him and the Father are one.
Okay, hold on with that. Hold on with
He
that.
used to know Abraham.
Asha.
Yes.
Stop there. He said, My Father and I are one. Does that sound like one person or two people?
So the Holy
No,
Spirit.
stay with me. Hey, does that sound like one person or two people?
They are two people. Yes.
Austin, when he said, my Father and I are one, does it sound like two people or one person?
Okay. I'm not sure I fully understand your question.
Okay, let me restate it. I know I'm black and slow, so I understand. When he said, my Father and I are one, does it sound like he's talking about one person or two people?
Well, he's saying two people, my
And
Father
so
and I.
if he was God, why would he mention his daddy?
Because there's something known as the Trinity. Okay, they're three separate persons.
No.
but
Come back
they
to the
all
question.
are God.
Come back to the question. If he was God, why would he mention his daddy?
Because the Father sent him.
So somebody else
He's
sent
an
God, or
extension of the Father.
somebody
God
else sent
incarnate.
somebody else sent the Father, or somebody else sent the Son.
Say that again.
Someone else sent the Father, or did someone else send the Son?
No, the Father sent the Son.
Okay,
Jesus is God.
so God didn't
incarnate,
send himself,
flesh.
right? God did not send himself. He sent the Son, right?
God came down in human form to earth.
There's nowhere in the Bible that says that. Nowhere.
It says that Jesus is the Word. The Word became flesh.
Okay. If you want to hang on to that, I wish you would. Do you have perfect peace?
I do.
You have perfect peace.
Yes, I trust in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
You never get angry.
If it's righteous, I do.
Do you ever get angry?
Sometimes.
You get angry, but yet you have perfect peace? How can you have both?
Well, because I lift that up to the Father. I have peace through Him.
No, you don't. You don't have
Yes, I
peace
do.
at all. I promise you, you don't.
Brother, I do. Let me
No,
tell
you don't.
Listen, I'm worried that you're leading young men astray.
You don't
I
have
think
peace.
you're doing great work with the family.
There's more.
But the gospel.
That's more proof that you don't have peace because you worry.
Well,
A
I'm
person
worried
of
about your
peace.
salvation.
A person of peace don't worry.
I don't believe that's true.
So how can you have peace and worry? Worry is of the devil. You can't serve two gods.
No, I agree.
So
I
how
agree.
can you
can't serve
worry?
two gods, but
So how can you
don't-
worry
don't
and have
people
peace?
pray and don't people pray and lift their concerns up to the Lord?
Yeah, because they're dumb.
No, come on.
No, they are.
That's unfortunate you feel that way, Jesse.
Why is that?
Because, I mean, the Bible calls us to lift up our troubles in prayer to God,
Where is that?
who watches over us.
Where is that?
I mean, you keep asking me for all these references. I know you're a pastor, so
Where-
you know the word.
where-
I'm shocked you're
Where,
saying you're not agreeing with a lot of the stuff I'm saying. These
where
are
is
biblical
that,
truths.
Austin? Where is that?
I don't have my Bible in front of me, and every time I go on speaker, you can't hear me. So I'm
Right.
not able to reference the
But let me
exact
tell you
scripture.
this, because it's not Bible Thumper Thursday, get ready and call me back on Thursday with the word, and we'll have more time to put into it, all right?
I'll be praying for you.
No, you don't.
I mean that sincerely. I really do.
But you don't know what to pray for. How you going to pray for me?
I'm going to pray that the Lord opens your heart.
See, I
and
told
that
you didn't know what to pray for.
receives you.
What?
What's that?
I told you didn't know what to pray for, so how you going to pray for me when you don't know what to pray for?
You know, I'm just going to put that in His capable hands.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
Take care.
All right. Amazing. Jerome out of New Jersey. Jerome, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Jerome.
Jesse, why you be talking about Trump like that all the time?
Like what?
every time it seems like I listen to the show this week now, or any time now, it's always, what manner of man is this? The wind and the seas obey him. Why you be talking like he God?
Because it's amazing that his enemies obey him, the world obey him, and everything he touched turned to gold. Don't you find that amazing? What manner
But
of
you
man
said
is
the
this?
wind and the seas obey him. You didn't say enemies. You said like nature obeys him, like God does.
Yeah, the nature obeys him as well. How am I wrong?
The nature doesn't obey any man.
How do you
Trump
know?
is not God.
How do you know it
The
doesn't?
nature obeys no man. Trump is not God. He is a regular man. I don't care what good he's doing. He's just a man.
Have I ever said he was God?
Yes, when you said the nature and the wind and the seas obey him, that is reserved for God and God only. No man.
Oh, that's an interesting. Are you a Christian, Jerome?
That has nothing to do with our conversation.
It does. And then I'll tell you why in a minute. Are you a Christian?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not? Oh, well, no wonder. But let me ask, do you believe the wind and the sea will obey a man?
I just said no.
And why not? Why you don't believe that?
Because Jesse, I just told you that is reserved for God and God only.
So
the nature obeys no man, whether it be the seas, the wind, the earth, the ground. None of it obeys man.
And why do you
need
say
to stop
it
talking
won't?
about Trump like that?
Why do you say it won't?
I just told you, Jesse. I'm not about to keep on saying it.
But Christ said it would. It will obey
He
you.
did not say that.
Yes, he
Where
did.
In the Bible did it say? Where in the Bible did Christ say that the wind and the seas will obey Trump?
Remember when they were on the boat? And while
I
Christ
don't
was-
remember nothing.
Let me
wasn't
tell
there.
you why. And remember when they were on the boat? And the disciple was like, right on, Christ, you the man. You the wind and sea obey you, everything. And Christ like, okay, cool. And that's enough praise. I'm going to take a nap. And so he went to sleep to take a nap. And when he went to sleep, the wind and the sea started to ramble around again and shake and carry on. And the disciple was like, Christ, wake up. The wind and seas are starting to carry on again. And Christ like, oh. And he was like, I thought y'all said that I was all that and you understood. And then he said, you could have told the wind and sea to be still, and it would have. What do you say about that?
He said that to Jesus, not man.
No,
Nobody
he's talking to
Jesus.
the men in the boat, man.
He wasn't talking to them. He did it. Not that no man in the boat did it. Jesus only
But he
himself
told them they could have done it too.
did. No, he did not. He
Yes,
never
he
said
did.
that, Jesse.
No,
he did it.
Yes,
no,
he did.
No.
Yes.
Where?
In the
I want you
Bible.
to tell me this. Yeah, okay. No, he did it.
Yes,
you
he
do
did.
this every single time I call in. You say that something the Bible says and it never says it, and you just claim that it says it, but
So
you
are
never
you
have any
saying
proof of it.
that when he said, why you guys freaking out, you could have told the wind and sea to be still?
He never said that, Jesse.
How do you know?
I read the Bible. It never said
But I
that.
thought you said
Do
you
have
were
the
not a
verse where it says
Christian.
it? I don't need to be a Christian to read the Bible.
What you doing reading the Bible and you ain't no Christian, man?
I used to be a Christian, so I used to read the Bible.
Oh, but you didn't read that part.
I did. You didn't.
So you didn't read the part where he told the disciples that you could have told the wind and sea to be still.
I just told. Okay, so point me out the verse.
So
then.
you did not read that.
No, I'm telling you, point me out the verse, and I'll go read it, and I'll make sure this time that you have it right and I have it wrong, and I'll fall back and say, you know what, Jesse got me this time.
Well, just read the Concord. You'll find it.
The who chord?
Somebody chord in that Bible. Thank you, Gerard. Appreciate it. I got to take a break. Back in a moment. So with all this mess going on in the country right now, and Trump is deporting the illegal aliens back to their country, back home, and the people are mad you're sending somebody else back home. Think about that. And these people enter your home illegally. And now you're sending them back home, and you're supposed to be mad? That doesn't make sense. But the Mexicans want the blacks to help them. What the? And blacks and Mexicans don't even like each other. They don't like each other. Blacks and Hispanics, Mexican, whatever you call them, do not get along. They hate each other. But the media and the so-called Mexican leaders want you to think that the blacks and the Mexicans get along. They don't. If you tell me, visit South Central L.A. or anywhere, you'll see. Here's a video of a Latino man arguing that black Americans should support Mexicans during the Los Angeles riot because Mexicans helped black people during slavery. I don't even know if Mexicans existed during slavery. I don't think they had Mexicans at that time. But watch this from X.
Good afternoon, guys. The reason I'm doing this video is because I just got to put my 2 cents in real quick. I've been seeing a lot of beautiful black people make a lot of videos talking about, about the protest that's going on in LA. And there's a lot of content creators that are black talking about, let's not help them, let's mind our own business. It's their turn, it's their time, and it just goes to show me that there's a lot of black people that don't know their history. In 1829, a lot of black people migrated to Mexico because of enslavement. When you all were enslaved, right, a lot of you guys ran to Mexico and sought help. And guess what we did? We helped. It was in 1837 that Mexico banned the slavery, that said, no human being should be a slave, right? Even more black people migrated to Mexico. So we helped y'all. We gave you the hand when y'all needed it. You see what I'm saying? So, let's know our history before we open up our mouth. And let's not forget that we all bleed red, right? And y'all never know when you're going to need us, just the way we will never know when we need you. You feel me?
I need you to need me. I'm going crazy 'cause I'm loving you tonight. Oh, no. That's a lie. When those black were sold or however they got to Mexico, black people were treated like hell in Mexico. And the blacker you were, the worse you were treated. He leaving that part out. You didn't help the blacks, buddy. You enslaved the blacks. Even now, and I was over in Mexico a while back, a couple of times, and the blackest blacks told me they are treated like underclass citizens in Mexico even today. So that's not true. You didn't help them. You're lying now. And so what you want the blacks to help you do wrong in America? To help you do what? Help you be wrong? And white people bleed blood too. Red blood. What do you think, the blood is white? In case you don't know, buddy, white people bleed red blood. And the blacks are not supposed to be helping you do wrong. These people are here illegally. And you want the blacks to support, and you did not even help the blacks in slavery. What the? And even if you had help, which you didn't, you want them to help you do wrong in America? Poor, that man lost. Somebody help him. Help him to see. Help me, Lord. And the Hispanics have taken the black social services, school, hospitals, and neighborhoods, and they fight all the time. They are doing to the blacks what the blacks have done to the whites, taking their stuff, their free stuff. So that's not true, buddy. And I wonder if the Mexicans so up on fighting, why don't they go back home and fight at home? Why come here illegally and then fight us? Meaning my country. I hear a lot of Christians talk about righteous anger. I'm angry when I'm angry, I got righteous anger, they say. So I'm wondering, is this what righteous anger look like? Here's a leftist woman having a meltdown over ICE deporting criminal illegals and object to using God's name to justify it. Watch this from X.
come on my page and say that people should be in this country legally.
Whoa.
Don't do it.
That's
This
devil.
is ridiculous. It's inhumane. You are a human being, and don't you dare use Jesus' name or God's name in this and say that this is what he would want and pretend to be a Christian, because you're not. This is pure evil. You are scum of the earth. These are people. These are mothers. These are fathers. These are human beings. And all you care about is where they are geographically. Shame on you. Do better. Be better.
What the? Is that Mexican or black or white? She's so white and angry. You see devil in her eyes. What the? Wow, look at Satan. How would you like to be married to that one? Or for that one to be your mama?